You all are welcome. Welcome to this year's edition of the Smart Parenting Child and Adolescent Mental Health Virtual Summit. Whew, I'm so happy to be here. Super happy to be here. I was a part of this session last year, and the things I learned, I was mind blown. All right. Oh, if you're here with me, kindly say hello with a show of emoji. With a show of hands using your emoji. Hello, everyone. Please let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. I will be the moderator for this edition. I was also the moderator for last edition. My name is Temitayo Awuyele Stella. Yeah. Please let me know if you can see me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if I'm audible enough. We're in for a very interesting ride. Very interesting ride today. Today, tomorrow, and on Saturday, because we have a lot to learn. We have a lot to learn. We have a lot to unlearn. You know, I'm so happy to be here. I'm super happy to be here. You're welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you. All right, like I said, my name is Temitayo Awuyele Stella. I'm a mother. I'm a mother of two, a boy and a girl. Yeah, I've been a mother for around 5-6 years. Yeah, and I'm a cybersecurity analyst. But today, I'm a parenting advocate. I'm a parenting advocate. So please, like I said, if you're on, please kindly show with a show of just wave your hands using the wave emoji. Yeah, use the wave emoji. So I can see you and I can hear you. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, someone just joined. Can you say hello? So I can give a shout out to you. Hello, everyone. So good to be here. I'm so happy to be here. So let me just quickly give us a rundown of what we should be expecting today. Like I said, we're in for a very interesting ride today. We're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn, we're going to learn, and we're going to relearn. So our first speaker today is, of course, no other person but Mrs. Oluwatoyi Ogunkomi. Yeah. So she's the one who brought us here today. She's the mastermind of this program. So she'll be speaking to us today on nurturing the African child. Yeah, so she'll be coming up around 3:30 thereabouts, talking about nurturing the African child. And around 4 p.m., we have Dr. Insang. Yeah. And Dr. Insang will be talking about parenting the African child in the digital age, how to manage screen time, social media, and cyberbullying. Very important in this day and age, right? And by 5 p.m., we'll have Mr. Miracle, who will be talking about adolescent realities in the 21st century, understanding their world and unique challenges. I mean, the world we grew up in no longer exists. The world our parents grew up in no longer exists. So we need to learn this new world that our children are growing up in. We need to learn so we'll be able to navigate excellently. All right. And by 6 p.m., we're going to have Mrs. Ayo, who'll be talking about protecting the young minds from hidden threats such as pornography, gambling, addiction, and every other imagined risks. Yeah, so if you agree with me, today's session is loaded. Today's session is loaded. Yeah. Okay, please let me know if you're online. If you're here with me, kindly show with a wave of hand emoji so I can make a shout out. I'm so happy to be here. Like I said, I'm super, 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 super excited. Hmm. I can see so many people are joining. I want you to type in the chat section, you know, type out your name, tell me where you're watching from. Yeah, I want to know where you're watching from. I want us to make this very engaging, I want us to talk, ask questions. I want you to show that you're happy to be here. Aren't you happy to be here? Write out your names. Let me give you a shout out. All right, let's do that. Hello, 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 hello. Let me know if you can hear me. I want to give a shout out to at least the first five people who joins. Where you watching from? Yeah, where you watching from? Let us know. Type wherever you're watching from. Is it Lagos? Is it Abu Dhabi? Is it Doha? Is it Abuja? Port Harcourt, Ibadan? Where exactly are you watching from? Dallas, Texas. Let us know. Idoko Justina. Drum roll. Wow, feels so good to have you here. How are you doing? Where are you watching from? You're watching from Abuja. Wow. FCT. Awesome. Awesome. So good to have you here. And what are your expectations for today? What are you expecting to see? What are you expecting to learn? Or what are you expecting to unlearn? What are those things you're looking forward to learning and unlearning? Please type it out. Yeah, please type it out. Okay, we also have the Light Teens coaching. Hoo, 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 from Abuja also. Wow, Abuja is winning. Abuja is really taking the lead. What's happening to my Lagos people? Huh? It's good. It's good. It shows that Abuja folks are really taking parenting very seriously. So good to have you here. Thank you for being here today. So please tell me, what are your expectations? What are you expecting to learn? Or what are you expecting to unlearn? You know, if you're going to be spending a couple of hours with us today, it's an investment. So, what do you expect to yield from your investment? What return on investment do you want? What's your ROI? Please let's know. Okay, so we also have Kemi Bello from Lagos. Yeah, finally we have somebody from Lagos. Hello, Kemi. How are you doing today? So good to have you here. So good to have you here. So tell me, Kemi, what do you want to learn? What do you want to unlearn? What are you looking forward to learning today from our speakers? So earlier on, I listed um, the sessions we'll be having today, the speakers, the topics, and you would agree with me that it's loaded. It's loaded. Yeah, awesome. You're fine. I'm happy. I'm happy to know you're fine. So good to hear from you. Okay, so we have Abuja, two people from Abuja and one person from Lagos. Do we have anyone joining us from other parts of the country or even outside the country? Canada, US, UK, any of the Asia continent, maybe China, India? Please let's know where you're joining us from. And also don't forget the question I asked. What are your expectations for today? What are you expecting to learn today? Why are you here? Why are you investing your time? You know, what what exactly is the ROI you're expecting, your return on investment? Because time is a very expensive commodity. Is what there's a quote I saw that a waste of time is the most expensive waste, right? It's just playing on words. Okay, I have Jane Godwin from Uyo. Ooh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Wow, so nice to have you here, Jane. So good to have you here. Jane Godwin from Uyo. I'm so happy to receive you. I'm super, super delighted, elated to have you here today. Awesome. Yeah, so tell me, Jane, tell me, what are your expectations? So I was saying that I saw this quote that states that time, a waste of time is the most expensive waste, right? Because if you waste your money, you can recoup it. You know, if you waste your resources, you can recoup it. But if you waste your time, you're not getting it back. And each and every one of us, we have 24 hours in a day. So how we use it really matters. So I'm sure you coming here, you don't intend to waste your time. No, you intend to learn, you intend to relearn, you intend to be transformed by what you'll be hearing today. So let me know your expectations. For me, my expectation for today is I want to be born anew as a parent. I want to learn new things and I want to unlearn some old things. You know, the way I parent my children, I want to live here today and I just want to be in I want to be transformed. I want to think about everything I learn here and be a better parent for it. So that's my expectation. I want to be impacted. Yeah, that's my greatest wish. I want to be impacted. Thank you so much, Jane. So Jane says she wants to be enlightened in this particular interesting parenting session. Yes, she says she wants to be enlightened. Even the Bible says that when there's light, oh, how is that verse of the Bible that says that if your eye sees light, your whole body will be flooded or something along that line. So light is very, very important. Light is very, very important for parent, for children. Light is extremely, extremely important. So good. Jane says she wants to be enlightened. I love that. I love that. Okay, faith. Okay, Idoko Faith says faith. Are you telling us your name? Okay, Faith from Abuja. Nice to have you, Faith. So tell me, Faith, well, what are your expectations? What are you expecting to learn and unlearn? What are you expecting to learn and unlearn? Please, I want us to engage, right? I want us to really engage. Drop your comments in the chat section, ask your questions. I want us to engage, make it interesting as we are learning. Yeah. Another question I want to ask is how many of us were here last year? How many of us were a part of this session last year? Please kindly show with a wave of hand emoji. Let me show you what a wave of hand emoji means. In case you're wondering, which one is wave of hand? Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Faith says she wants to learn how to be a better parent to our kids. Wow. Wow, fantastic. And that's what we hold them. I mean, that's it. There's this Yoruba name that really encapsulates what God had in mind when he was giving people children. It's Oluwafunsho. Like God gave you to just watch over this child. It's not yours. Your children are not yours. God gave them to you to watch over them. You know. So when you say you want to be a better parent to your kids, that's a very good thing to say, you know, because you know that you're a steward and you just want to be a better steward, and that's the best you can do for God, right? Okay, so we have teens Bible study who just joined. Hello. Where are you joining us from? Teens Bible study, where are you joining us from? Let's know. And also let us know what you intend to learn from this session or all the sessions we'll be having today and tomorrow. 40 and fabulous. I love that. 40 and fabulous. Oh, wonderful. I wish I can see a picture of you right now because I know you're going to look so fabulous and glamorous. So good to have you here. So good to have you here. So tell me, what do you intend to learn? What do you intend to learn? Teens Bible study says she's watching from Abuja and she wants to be a better parent. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I can see the desire. I can see the passion. Like, I want to be a better parent to my kids. I want to be impacted. I want to be enlightened. I can see the excitement. I can see the joy. Wow, so good to have you here. And there's something I'm not hearing you say, oh, I want my children to be more obedient. I want my children to be good children. Mm-mm. Everyone is saying, I want to be a better parent. Parenting starts with you. So far as you know that parenting starts with you, you are the one that have to do the learning. You are the one that have to do the transforming. So I love that. I think we're on the same level with that. Everybody knows I need to do the greatest work. Okay, Idoko Justina says, I want to learn how to support children's emotional and educational development. Wow, this is so touchy. I want to know how to support them because you're no longer a child, but if you learn how to, you'll be able to help them. I love that. Oh my God. Forty and Fabulous says, I want to learn how to parent my grandchildren. Wow, there are stages to this thing, no? There are stages to these things. Some of us are talking about our 4-year-old and 3-year-old, and this is 40 and Fabulous saying, my grandchildren. Imagine a grandma is here to learn. What is your excuse? Do you have an excuse? Please send this link to your friends, those who just got married, those who have little children. Tell them that grandmas are here and grandpas, they are learning. What would think that after raising your children, you have everything you need to be able to raise your grandchildren. You have the experience, you have the time, but now she's here to learn because she knows that time have changed. She knows that time have changed. Wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Okay, so we're counting down to when Mrs. Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi will come on to talk about nurturing the African children. She'll be coming up at around 3:30 to talk about nurturing the African children. When I saw the topic, I was like, okay, does it require a different kind of tactics to be able to nurture African children? Why not just saying nurturing our children or nurturing a child? Why is it so specific? Why are we having nurturing your African child? Why? Why should we put African? I'm still going to ask her that question. Like, why? Why is it so specific to Africa? Is there a different way we raise children in Australia, Canada, America, Ghana? Okay, Ghana is in Africa, Asia or whatever. And is it different from the way we now parent African children? That's one of the questions I'll be asking her. So I hope you have your questions already for Mrs. Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi because she'll be coming on very, very soon. Okay, so if you're just joining us, my name is Temitayo Awoyele Stella, and I will be moderating today's session. And I said today we're going to be having 4 different sessions. We're going to be having 4 different speakers. Our first speaker is Mrs. Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi, who will be coming up very soon to talk about nurturing the African child. And thereafter, we'll be having Dr. Isang. And Dr. Isang will be talking about parenting the African child in this digital age, managing screen time, social media, and cyberbullying. I mean, I remember I didn't even have a Facebook account until I was out of the university. Yeah. Some of my friends had it then, but I just didn't see a need for it. I didn't join Instagram until 2017 or 2018. So, which means my growing up years, there were no distractions from social media. Now, imagine your child where a 2-year-old can even operate a phone. So, that's why she'll be talking to us about parenting the African child in this digital age, managing screen time, the social media, and cyberbullying. And thereafter, we're having Mr. Miracle talk about the adolescent realities in the 21st century, understanding their world and the unique challenges that they are facing. And lastly, we're going to be having Mrs. Ayo today talking about protecting the young minds from hidden threats, such as pornography, gambling, addiction, and every other imagined risks. So we have quite a lot to learn today. So we have a few minutes before we bring on our first speaker for today. So I'm still expecting you to drop your name. We have more people on now. So I still want you to drop your name, where you're joining from, and what you intend to learn. Yeah. Your name, where you're joining from, and what you intend to learn. I still remain your moderator, Awele Temitayo Stella. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please let me know where you're joining us from. What's your name? And I asked the question the other time. I don't think anyone has answered yet. Okay. So, all right. So I'll be bringing on Mrs. Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi right away. Like I said, she's the one who brought us together here today. She's the convener of the Smart Parenting Child and Adolescent Smart Health Virtual Summit. She's the brain behind this whole thing. Please, if you're as excited as I am, please, I want you to, with a round of applause in the comment section, please let's bring on Mrs. Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi. Please, let's bring her on. Come on. Come on in, ma.
Hi. Thank you so much, Mrs. Tayo. Thank you so much for having us here again, for being part of this summit. So last year, we had the summit last year, and yes, the summit was really, really interesting. Going back to check the number of people that viewed, I noticed that the number of people that attended, compared to the number of people that viewed, we had like over 1,000 people viewing the last year's session. So this year, Smart Parenting Child and Adolescent Summit 2.0 is here again. And this year is bigger and it's better. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined, everyone that registered. We sent a mail, was it yesterday or this morning? We said that it's one thing for you to register. That is the first step. But the second step is you showing up. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's shown up. Thank you so much. We're so excited about the session because we know it's going to be really, 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 really interesting. So I'm going straight into my welcome message, and I'll also start talking. I'm also going to talk about what it means to nurture the African child. So why did I start this? So let me start to go into the why, the why behind this. So the Smart Parenting Child and Adolescent Mental Health Summit is actually a vision born out of the deep burden in my heart, the need to protect, strengthen, and nurture the minds of our children. I've been working in a mental health facility as a clinical psychologist for almost 4 years. And although I've been doing parenting and working as a parenting educator, but coming into my role as a clinical psychologist, working in a mental health facility, working in a rehab, I have seen all the messages we've been talking about. Oh, raise your children, be there for them. I'm seeing the real life impact of not raising your children, or not being available for your children, and that's where this. That's why we decided to create this platform, a platform where we can speak with parents, we can provide them with tools and resources and information to bridge the knowledge gap when it comes to mental health and mental disorder. So as a family psychologist and as a mother, I've seen again and again how fragile yet powerful the mind of a child can be. Our children are growing in a world that is louder, faster, and sometimes more confusing than the one we knew. The title said something that the world we grew in is not the world our children are living in, which is really, really true. One thing we need to know is that social media is shaping their identity, peer pressure is redefining their values, and many are battling with silent threats like anxiety, depression, self-doubt, and even substance use. And so, why the theme nurturing the African child? So, one of the things we know about Africans is that we raise our children in a village. So, parenting is like a village whereby everyone is involved in parenting of the child. However, due to the influx of so many different, should I call it westernized world, or what would I call westernized world, parenting is no longer the way it used to be. Now we have parents who are in silos, in isolation, and parenting shouldn't be like that. We're actually meant to raise our children. We're actually meant to raise our children as a community. Now, nurturing the African child simply has to do with us as parents learning how to raise our children better. As African parents, as African caregivers and educators and leaders, we must be very deliberate in nurturing these children. Why? Because when we protect their mind, when we build resilience into them, we are building children who will be strong leaders for tomorrow. And African is on the forefront of the new wave of things happening in the world. You see a lot of our African culture being exported into the Western world and all that. And as parents, it's very important that we nurture the minds of our children, we protect their mind, we build resilience, and we promote their well being. Now, the African child is a beautiful, intelligent, creative, and resilient person. Despite our different, so the African child in Africa, in Ghana, in Nigeria, in Togo, we're all beautiful. We are all beautiful. With our dark skin, we're beautiful. We're intelligent and we're very creative. Despite the unique challenges we face, we are beautiful, creative, and resilient. Now, one of the reasons, another reason I did this, when we came up with this theme is that in the African culture, it's you hear things like, "Oh, men are not meant to cry. You have to be strong. You have to face whatever it is you're going through. You'll be fine." And these are words. These are phrases that actually dismiss rather than heal whatever the African child is going through. And looking in the society, see a lot of people who are traumatized, who have unhealed trauma, and these same people are parents to the next generation. And I don't want this cycle repeating itself. And that's why I said, no, let's create a platform where parents can learn how to heal themselves and also how they can prevent the next generation from getting hurt and having trauma. Now, due to the different conflicts happening around, African children are exposed to trauma. Is it those in Meduguri? Is it children in where they're being kidnapped? Is it children where there's war? Is it children where they have they've become child soldiers? They are faced and exposed with different types of trauma, family instability, abuse, poverty. And not just that, the African child is also under serious pressure to be the best, yet with no emotional support. And as parents, this is our duty to provide emotional support for our children. And finally, under why the African child, our African children are now exposed to a lot of digital that they're exposed digitally, and not just exposed digitally, they are faced with one comparing themselves with other people, cyberbullying, stalking online. There are a lot of things happening, and because parents are busy, and I know we need to make money, because we are busy, a lot of parents are not aware of these mental health challenges or mental health crises that are being created due to all these things I've stated. One of the things I'm so grateful for with what I do is that I see firsthand and I understand the struggles young African children are going through. The struggles of they're going through emotional dysregulation, emotional trauma, so their emotions are everywhere, and yet they cannot speak with their parents at home or tell their parents this is what I feel or this is what I'm going through. And when I speak with them in my counseling office, even some adults, when I speak to them, I'm like, so how long have you been sad? I heard people saying, oh, as long as when I was in high school. Oh, as long as when I was in university. So why didn't you do something about it? I didn't have anybody to speak to. My parents were not emotionally available, or I was in the boarding system and I couldn't talk to my housemaster about it. And this is one of the reasons why we included caregivers and educators to this year's summit, not just parents. According to the World Health Organization, they've estimated that 1 in every 7 adolescents experience a mental health disorder that is being diagnosed, meaning that we have quite a number of undiagnosed, unspoken, and untreated mental health challenges among some adolescents. So, what can we do as parents? What can we do as caregivers? What can we do as educators? Our job is to nurture these children. We are to nurture their minds. We are to protect them, and we are to build resilience in them. I remember attending one mental health summit. Was it on Friday, last week Friday? And somebody there said the level of your resilience determines how good your mental health will be. I'm paraphrasing. Do you understand? So if we're able to build resilience in our children, guess what? They will have great mental health. Their mental health will not be shaken because they have the ability to bounce back. I'm going to talk about what resilience is. So, one of the things I want us to know, we have lots and lots of speakers who are going to talk about different topics concerning mental health, concerning protecting the minds of our children. We have lots of people. We have Dr. Isan is going to talk about screen time. We have Mr. Miracle is going to talk to us about the adolescent, the peculiarities of the African adolescent. We have Mrs. Ayo. Mrs. Ayo will be speaking to us on silent threats, addiction, gambling addiction, pornography, etc. And tomorrow we have speakers lined up for us. Now, when we talk about protecting the minds of our children, what do I mean by protecting the mind of our children? To protect the mind of your child starts before your child becomes an adult. Starts before your child goes in for therapy. Protecting the mind of your child starts from home. It starts in terms of the conversations you're having with your children. It starts with your parenting style. It starts with your emotional connection. It starts with your emotional connection. It starts with your parenting style. It starts with the conversations you're having with your children. So if as parents you're not having conversations with your children, you're not protecting their mind, meaning that anybody can say anything to them and they might pick it up. If your parenting style is not one that is kind and flexible, you're not protecting the mind of your children. If you are not in the home to provide emotional support for your children, you're not protecting the minds of your children. So as parents, it's very important that we are home. So when I say we are at home, we are emotionally, we are physically and emotionally present in the lives of our children. As parents, I said earlier that we need to heal. We need to heal ourselves first so that the next generation also will be healed. Now, back to I was talking about how to protect the minds of our children. I said number one, it starts from home, not in the therapy room. So when I see children below the age of 13, 14, I'm big. I'm taken aback. It's not that it's worrisome. There are certain mental health challenges that could cause, there are certain situations that could cause a mental challenge or a mental disorder or mental distress. However, there are some that I see that I know that this child should not be in here if only the parents were there to provide emotional connection, emotional support, and if only the parents were raising them right. So I've seen situations whereby couples are fighting and the child is the one suffering for it. So, as parents, how do you protect the minds of your children? Number one, you have to be able to create emotional safety for your children. Let your children know that they can speak with you without fear of being judged or punished. Home should be the safest space for emotional expression for your children should be able to say what is on their mind. However, in the process of them being able to say what is on their mind, they need to know that there's a thin line between expressing themselves and being disrespectful. And as parents, that's why we need to be able to help them, teach them, and guide them to learn how to balance these two sides of expressing themselves. Another thing we need to do as parents to protect our children's mind, we need to monitor their digital consumption. Now, when I talk about monitoring their digital consumption, it's not about restricting them from using the internet. Rather, it's teaching them digital discipline. Our first speaker is going to talk a whole lot about this. It's about teaching them digital discipline. So it's not them just it's not us restricting. Oh no, you're not going to use the TV. You're not going to use your phone. You're not. No, it's us teaching them to be disciplined with these things. Let them know that yes, you have a phone, but I don't have to be on my phone 24 hours. I don't have to be on the PS 24 hours. I don't have to be watching Netflix and all. Let them be able to be disciplined as parents. Another way we can protect the minds of our children is by modeling mental wellness in the home. So, as parents, you need to be emotionally balanced. Remember when I said that you need to heal from trauma so that you do not transfer your trauma to the next generation? Yes. So, as parents, it's important that we model mental wellness. Let our children see us as people who are emotionally balanced so that you can raise emotionally stable children. If you don't heal from your own childhood trauma, from your own childhood wounds, you will bleed on your children. Let me say that again. If you don't heal from your childhood wounds, if you don't heal from your childhood trauma, you will bleed on your children. You will bleed on your children if you don't heal. And that's why it's important as parents that we heal ourselves first. Healing, once you are healed as a parent, you will not bleed on your children and you will not transfer that trauma to your child. So I've spoken about I've given three ways we can protect the minds of our children. I, I said the first is we need to create emotional safety in the home. The second is we need to monitor their digital consumption. Let's teach them to be digitally disciplined, not just by restricting them, not just restricting access, but teaching them to be digitally disciplined. The third thing I mentioned is modeling mental wellness. So as parents, we need to be able to model mental wellness in our home. Let's be emotionally balanced. Let's heal from our own childhood trauma so that we don't bleed on our children. Then I also spoke, the fourth way we can protect the minds of our children is let's make conversation around mental health normal in the home. Let your children be able to tell you how they feel. Mom, I feel a bit awkward today. Really? Tell me more about it. Not that, oh, the child comes and say, Mom, I'm feeling awkward. And you say, God forbid, you won't feel awkward in Jesus' name. Stand up, stop saying that. Listen to the child. One of the things I know said complain about is that their parents do not listen to them. Their parents do not, they don't give them, they don't talk to, they don't allow them to hear or express themselves. So it's important that we teach them how to use words, feeling words. We teach them how to ask questions, open up, and talk to us as parents. To protect the mind of your children is prevention. It's not going for you. So we need to protect the minds of our children so they end up not going for therapy when they're older or when they're, and then something we say in psychology that children who've gone through adverse childhood experiences before the age of 18, there is every likelihood the child will go in for therapy in older years. So how do we protect the minds of our children again? By building resilience. And what is resilience? The ability to bounce back after a challenge. How do we build resilience in our children? Number one, your child needs to know who he is or who she is. A child who has a sense of identity, a child who is grounded in their faith and their purpose is likely not to be swayed by peer pressure. Is less likely to be swayed by peer pressure. So your children should need to know who they are. Secondly, we need to allow them to, say positive things about themselves. There's a book I'm releasing the book on the 18th. One of the books I'm going to launch. It's the Thriving Adolescent journal. In here, in the book I spoke about the different ways children say negative things to them, how they have mental biases and limiting beliefs about themselves. When I launch the book, we'll see more about that. Then also, how do we build resilience, emotional regulation? Let's teach them how to manage and understand their emotions. We need to teach them about problem solving skills, very important. We also need to create a supportive system for them. Remember, I said that it takes a village, a healthy village, to raise a healthy child. Not just any village, a healthy, emotionally balanced village to raise emotionally balanced children. So surround your children with mentors, coaches, teachers, faith based guidance. Expose your children to people who share the same values with you. So I'll be rounding up very soon. And what do I have to say to round up? Our job is to raise children who are thriving, not children who are struggling. Our job is to raise children who are emotionally, mentally, physically, socially, and spiritually stable. We need to raise children who are holistic, not just a child that is academically okay or a child that is socially okay. We need to raise a child that is mentally, emotionally, mentally, socially, physically, and spiritually healthy. When we raise a holistic child, we are doing this to make our country better. So, as we gather for this summit, nurturing the African child, protecting their minds, building resilience, and promoting well being, I challenge every parent listening to me. I challenge every teacher listening to me. I challenge every policymaker that is listening to me to let's not just talk, but let us act. Let us build homes. Let us have schools. Let us have communities where every African child feels safe, seen, and supported. Because in doing this, we are protecting the minds of our children. And in protecting the minds of our children, we are protecting the African nation or African continent as a whole. So I want to say thank you so much. I'll be stopping here. Our next speaker will be coming very soon. I'm going to hand this over back to Temitaya. Do you have any question? Do we have any question? Temitaya, back to the stage.
Wow, wow, wow. I mean, thank you very much for your session, Ma. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I love the way you placed a lot of emphasis on resilience because honestly, I think that's what's missing in this generation. And not just our Gen Zs or Gen Alpha or whatever, even the millennials. You
Absolutely.
know, I don't think we have the level of resilience that our parents had. They were ready to tough it out no matter what happens. But most people in our generation, we kind of give up so easily, and then we always say, oh, I turned out well. Even I ask myself, like when I'm doing some difficult things, I just want to throw in the towel. I just ask myself, like, what am I mirroring to my children? If I can give up so easily, what are they seeing? And sometimes because of that, I'll just like, okay, I'll give it all it takes. So resilience is very, very key. It's very, very key. Now, I have a question though. When we look at the Western world and we see the way the suicide rate and everything is so high, can we say one of the reasons is because people have refused to toughen up? Even ordinary comments that you drop, people like, oh my God, you're affecting my mental health. How can you say that to me? There's some words you can no longer use. Everybody, you're always affecting the mental health. In a way, in Africa, we still have a little bit of that. We still have something called tough love. They can still tell you the truth. You still have people telling you, girl, watch your weight, you're getting too fat. But in the Western world, you can't say that to anybody. You're affecting their mental health. Could that be the reason why there's a lot of the suicide rate is high? They can't take things, they can't shoulder things. It almost seems like they don't have that resilience. Could that be the reason?
Yes, absolutely. So so everything now is being pushed under mental health, mental health, mental health. And and the reason why I spoke a lot about resilience, and we have two speakers or three speakers that we talk. So tomorrow is all about resilience, different ways we can build resilience in our children. Tomorrow is all about that. Today is about the screen time, understanding who a teenager and adolescent is, and how we can protect their minds. Tomorrow is how we can build resilience. while on Saturdays, how we can promote the overall well-being of our children. Now, when we talk about resilience, resilience is a tool we all need, even as adults, like you said. Resilience is not just for children, it's for everyone. Because your ability to bounce back, you're going to hear things. People are going to say a lot of things. The person next door is suffering from his own whatever issue he or she is suffering from. And like I said, when you don't heal, you will bleed on other people. And
Mm,
because of this, people in the Western world, their level of resilience is not as tough. They're not as tough. Let me use the word tough as, and that's why the rate, the rate of suicide is so high now, and it's not just because of resilience that make people do that. We also have mental health issues that can actually cause one to give up on life. So it's not just that because of lack of resilience. But yes, if they had resilience, if they knew how to bounce back when they go through a challenge or a setback, they wouldn't think of the easy option of either giving up on life and all that. So yes, resilience is important, and yes, this is one of the reasons people tend to commit suicide because they don't see hope in themselves. They don't see the reason why they should continue, and they just feel, oh, they've said this, they've all these things they've said. They don't even know that they can use whatever it is that people have said about them as a springboard to bounce up and to bounce and become better. Yes, resilience is very, very important. Thanks so much.
all right, thank you. And I have just one more question before we throw it open to the audience if they have any question to ask you. And that question is the place of religious institutions, because sometimes we bank a lot on grace, miracle, and in a way it affects us from committing to something. They will tell you, oh, you don't need to, you just need to do the 10%, God will do the 90%. We hear this, that, oh, there's miracle. In fact, the people will give testimony of, I didn't apply for the job, I just got it in my inbox that I got the job. So you now have a lot of people just sitting down, relaxing, and say, I trust God will do it for me. So how do we strike the balance that, yes, the religious institution will be like, yes, you need to put in the work. Even the Bible say work without faith is dead. But how do we strike this balance? Because there's a lot of over dependence on the miracle, on the supernatural, that a lot of people are settling.
Thank you so much. And I love the fact that you brought in the faith because we have someone that's going to talk about faith and culture tomorrow. Now, when we talk about faith and resilience, so there's a place of faith and there's a place of resilience. However, I'm going to use my Christian, so I'm a Christian, and there's a place in the Bible that says faith without work is dead. So even God expects us to work. God expects us to put in our own effort while we're waiting for the miracle, while we're waiting for Him to do His part. We have our own part as humans to do. You cannot say, so it's just like me. I have my glasses here now, and I place my glasses on top of maybe a table, and I say, God, I want you to come and move these glasses. Hello? The glasses is going to be there till the next 10 years. Do you understand? So there's a place of the supernatural. There's this place of faith. However, God expects us to do our own part. And that's so I always have this conversation with my husband when my husband says, so when the pastors are preaching, they don't talk about the process. Most times they always talk about the result. But there's a process. Do you get it? There's a process, and it's that process that we need to teach our children about resilience. You have to keep going. You can't say you're not going to do, you can't say you're going to give up. You keep going. It's in the place of doing XYZ that God will give you the miracle you're looking for.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Although I would love to ask more about mental health, but we'll talk about that later. So let me throw this open to our audience. Do you have any question for Mrs. Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi before we bring in our next speaker? Any question about resilience, about problem solving, about healing ourselves first before we even start thinking of healing our children? And there was something she said. She was like, if we do not heal our wound, we're going to bleed on our children. And I can tell
Absolutely.
you, That is happening. That is happening. You wouldn't know, but you just realize that God, this thing has been a part of me since, and I'm beginning to see it manifest in my children. We see it. We see it always. We see it always. So, any question for Mrs. Oluwatoyin before we move on from our audience? I'm waiting for your questions. Remember what I said in the beginning. We need this to be engaging. All right. We need you to be very active. We need you to be active audiences. So drop your question. I'm sure she would gladly answer those questions. So we have barely 9 minutes before the next speaker comes in, and I still need to read her bio. So I think we have just 4 minutes. We have just 4 minutes to answer your questions. So please, if you have a question, please drop them in the comment section so I can read them out. Yeah, so I'm just going through the notes of when you were talking, and then you said parenting actually start from home, and that our parenting style, emotional connection, and even the conversations we're having with our children, it matters. I saw something this week, and the woman was like, I think she has a 9-year-old daughter, and she saw something on the girl's phone. A message popped up on the girl's phone, and it's from an opposite sex saying, "Oh, I love the time we had together and everything. You were this, you were that." And then she was like, "I'm so scared. I don't even know how to bring this up with my child." And I was like, how will you be scared to have such conversation with your child? And then you just said it, that the kind of conversation we're having, I think most parents find it difficult to have conversations with their children. And I just want to know why. Why? Is it because you think you don't have the skills, or you are scared of what they might say that will break your heart? I want to really know why. Why would the parents be scared, to have such conversations? So when you said that, it reminded me of what I read earlier this week. And
Okay,
it's
so reason parents don't have this conversation, number one, because really and truly they don't know what to say and they don't know how to start the conversation. So I used to have okay, somebody said no connection. Can you hear me?
yes, clearly.
Okay, maybe it's our network, maybe it's our own network because I can hear you.
No, I think she's trying to say there's no connection between the parents
Oh,
and
okay,
their.
okay, 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 okay. Yes, okay, no connection. Oh, thank you so much. So when I started my work in the family life industry, there was a particular year I did a sex conversation. Having a sex conversation with your children, and I had over 200 parents, sign up within a night. So I posted the advert maybe like 10 p.m. By the next morning, I've had over 200, over almost 300 parents signing up for that program. And when I started the conversations with the parents, most of them said, so we did like a poll. Most of them said they don't even know how to start this conversation with their children. What do I tell my child? I don't even know how to. And Auntie AJ here says, no connection. Yes, they don't have that connection with their children. They don't have a relationship. Because if you have a relationship with your child, these are part of conversations you should have with the child, and these are part of conversations your children will be eager to have to discuss with you. So as parents, connection very, very important. Number two, we need to equip ourselves with knowledge and information, tools, resources, everything you need to make you become that parent for your child. You need to do it. Very, very important. Everything you need to be that parent for your child, please go all out and get it. Enroll in classes, buy books, go online, watch movies. Just need to build, you need to equip yourself with these resources. Because when you equip yourself with these resources, it won't be a matter of, oh, I don't even know what to say. It might now be a matter of, oh, I don't know how to say it. Because when I have that training, the answers were, oh, I don't know what to say. Some other parents say, oh, I don't know how the process, how to start this conversation. Some other people were like, why will I have that conversation with my child? It's his father's job. Or the male will say, oh, it's the mother's job. So these are the conversations parents need to start having with their children so that the children would learn from them and the children will not go astray. It's very important we have conversations with our children. While we wait for our second speaker, if we have questions, please, I'd like us to put in our questions.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you
over to
very
you, ma'am. Over to
All
you.
right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we're going to welcome our second speaker for the day, Dr. Isang. So I would want to quickly read a bio so you would know the big fish we're bringing here today. So please kindly listen to Dr. Isang Hour's bio. Dr. Isang Awa works at the University of Oxford's Department of Social Policy and Intervention, where she serves as the head of advocacy at the Global Parenting Initiative. In this role, she works with the national government, with the UN agencies, and the NGOs and the FBO sectors to support the uptake of evidence based, playful parenting programs and empowers and supports the GPI national research teams to lead an advocacy for the uptake of parenting for lifelong health programs. Dr. Isang is also a member of the university wide Oxford Policy Engagement Network Steering Group. Dr. Isang hosts a weekly radio program on parenting on XL 106.9 FM on Tuesdays at 9:20 GMT plus one, right? Our research interests include social issues, literacy, especially in the global south, and she's dedicated to improving outcomes for children and young people. And in the past few years, she worked on the development and testing of Parent App for teens, an open source mobile application parenting intervention that is based on the Parenting for Lifelong Health program. In during COVID-19, during the Parenting Emergency Response Project, she had a collaboration with WHO, UNICEF, USAID, CDC, and other international agencies and organizations. Dr. Isang also led the dissemination of the COVID 19 parenting resources in West and Central Africa. These resources have reached over 210 million beneficiaries in 198 countries and territories, and they were part of the 34 government COVID 19 responses. And more recently, Dr. Isang managed the team's humanitarian parenting response in Ukraine, Pakistan, Syria, and Turkey, which involved collaborating with the WHO, UNICEF, and other international agencies and organizations to develop and disseminate parenting resources to families that are affected by the humanitarian crisis in these countries. She's also the founder of My Rainbow Books Limited. Dr. Inseng introduced into Nigeria personalized storybooks that are tailored for African children. She also initiated the nationwide annual creative writing competition for children in Nigeria. Dr. Isang holds a PhD in education from the University of Cambridge, UK, and she also holds a degree from Harvard University, USA, and the University of Uyo, Nigeria. Dr. Isang is also a storyteller, an author of children's book, a blogger, and a songwriter. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Isang. This is super impressive. You're welcome, ma'am. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you
Nice
so
to
much.
have you.
And
Thank you. Can you guys
you're
hear
welcome, Dr. Isang. Ma'am?
Please call me Isan. Can you guys hear
Okay.
me?
Okay, you're welcome. I'll still call you Dr. Isang because I've had
Please.
that registered in my mind. Thank you so much for being part of this summit. The floor is yours. You're free to go and do everything you want to do concerning this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to say I'm not the most tech savvy person. Thank you for that very warm introduction. Um, but I'm trying to share I'm not very familiar with this. I'm trying to share. I would like to share screen. I hope I'm able to do that. Let's see, select the tab to share. Oh dear.
Okay, so you see present. You see present.
Yes,
Can you
I've
see
seen
present?
that. I've seen present, share screen, right? I've
Yes, so
seen
just
that.
click on it.
Okay. Oh God, your browser has blocked your screen. Oh dear.
Okay.
Can I quickly send my
You
presentation
can
to
send your
you?
slide to me so I can share for you.
Yes, yes. Please give me a minute. Let me just PDF.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
It's so that it's faster and easier. I'm going to send it as a PDF, so it's a lot faster.
Send it to my WhatsApp so I can just download for my
Yes,
system.
yes. Save as PDF. My sincere apologies that I'm joining later than I planned to and later than I should have joined. It's just been a super hectic day, jumping from one meeting to another. So please, if you can hear me, my sincere apologies. Share, I'm about to send my presentation to you so you can
Okay,
share it for
waiting for
me.
it.
Thank you. So I've just saved it as a PDF and I'm going to send it to you now so you can share my screen for me.
Okay.
Okay, great. Twin, what's your email address again?
Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi together at Gmail.
I think I have it already.
Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi at Gmail together.
Yes, Twin. Great, I've seen it. I sent it as a PDF so it's easier for you. Otherwise, it's just going to waste so much time.
I've not
Sorry,
received it.
everybody. Apologies. Have you seen it?
No, I've not. I've not.
I'm sure it will arrive in a minute
In
or
a few
two.
minutes, yeah. Okay, but you could start while I,
Sure.
yeah.
So, hi everyone. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much, Toyin. Now you're calling me doctor, so I don't know what to call you. Should I call you doctor? But thank you so much for having me. And I'm so sorry that my background, I'm trying to change my background to all of the stuff I should do. I'm not familiar with this. I'm not very familiar with this. Forgive me. And so I'm not sure what to do here, but thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure to join you. And I wasn't sure. I didn't get the name of the beautiful moderator who introduced me, but thank you so much. I'm really thrilled to be here. And thank you again. I really want to commend Toyin for the great job you're doing in supporting families. And of course, adolescents too, because you can't support children without supporting their families. So thank you for the amazing job you are doing. Is my presentation ready? Okay, so maybe I can start by talking about the fact that I'm going to be speaking on parenting the African child in the digital age, managing screen time, social media, and cyberbullying. And then to ensure that I cover all three subtopics, I've divided my talk into several segments. So, Toyin, is my presentation ready? I wanted to start with a little Slido. Can you guys hear me? I hope, well, I can still see myself, so I assume that I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. So I'm going to put up your slide now.
Great. You've seen this, you've got everything.
Yes, I've
Fantastic.
gotten it. So I just want to present now.
Great. Thank you. So at is a 1 hour session, I thought it would be nice to make this very interactive. So I created a few Slido quizzes that I've intersected here and there. And I'm hoping that everyone will join, and it's really very easy to play. All you have to do is, if you have an Android phone or an iPhone, just go to the camera, scan the QR code.
Can you see the screen?
Sure, very well. Let's leave this slide. That's the
Okay.
introductory, that's the opening slide. Let's move on. The next slide, please.
Can you
Okay,
see it?
that's the outline. Perfect. The next slide, please. Great. So let's pause here. Yes. If you have your phone, please scan the QR code. I'm going to scan mine as well because I'm joining on my laptop and I would really like to see your responses, please. So just use your camera, go here. Yes. And then you will see the Slido. Let's see. Does it matter that? Has anyone been able to get there? Is it possible to make this larger? Okay, hold on. Oh, great. I'm on full screen now. So just go to Slido and then you will be able to. And you'll see the first question, which is in one word, how would you describe parenting in the digital age? So you have a minute, everyone, please. I encourage you, go in there and I'd like to see your responses. So that's the first one I'm asking. In one word, how would you describe parenting in the digital age? Okay, I'm trying to open my screen to see the responses.
We're still waiting for people to respond. Let me see.
Okay. You haven't responded either because I can't see
I'm,
any.
I'm waiting for it to upload too.
Oh, really?
I think you have to download the app first, the
No, you
Slido.
don't. Oh, I have responses already. I've seen two
Okay.
responses, thought-provoking, witty. Please, yeah, I love that. Anybody else, any other response? So it's working, clearly working. How would
Okay.
you respond, or how would you describe parenting in the digital age?
Okay, you're getting responses from the app, right?
No, from the participants.
Oh, okay.
So
Let me
once
see.
you put in your response, it shows, and I can
Okay.
see it. If I could share my screen, I would be able to share the responses so everyone could see it. So I
Would you
have,
like to
so
share
if
your
you put in
screen
a
and see?
response, let me try again, but it's saying that, it's telling me that, let me try again, share screen. Let's try again. Oh, yes, it is working. Can you see my screen? Can you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
Can you see my screen? I have thought provoking, transformative, witty, reflective, challenging.
Okay.
You still can't see my screen?
I've seen your screen, yes.
You can see my screen now. So
Yes, I'm adding it to the
if any of the participants, if anyone on the call puts in a response, it's going to pop up here. I think these are really interesting, great responses. I'm going to stop now so I can continue. But I just wanted to get people's responses, in terms of how they think of parenting in today's in the digital world. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. And now that I can share my screen, let me see if I can go ahead and share my presentation. I think I now know what I did wrong. Great. Share. Great. Can you see my presentation? If you can hear me, I can't hear you, but I'm going to move on to the next slide. Can you see my presentation? Can you see my presentation?
presentation. It actually should be showing now because I've added it to the stage.
Yeah, can you see my presentation? Do you want
I
to
can see your
continue
I
sharing
can
or
see your
should I share?
presentation.
Do you want to continue sharing or should I share?
Okay, so let me continue sharing. I can't see your
Yeah, I
presentation
think it
again.
might be easier for you to continue sharing. So I just
Okay.
focus then. But thank you. Huge thanks to everyone who responded. We'll have other sliders, quizzes coming up, and I hope other people will respond. Just take your camera, go to the QR code. It will take you to the Slido. then you can respond. And don't worry, other questions will not be, not all of them will be so demanding. So I thought
Okay, so can you see the screen? Can you see the screen?
yes,
If
I
everyone
can
can see
see.
the screen, can you
But
see the
can you
screen?
make it larger? Can you make it larger? No, go back to the previous slide. The first, yes, there. Can you make it larger? Great. If you can make it larger, that would be fantastic.
Is that
Fantastic.
okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine as long as everybody can see. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. So I wanted to start with a brief talk about the digital landscape. And like many of us may be aware, digital access is growing very fast across Africa with rapid growth in smartphone and internet use across Africa. And of course, with this, our children are spending more time than ever online. They are on their phones, they are on their tablets, and they are on social media. So something that we can afford to ignore at all. It comes with amazing opportunities. Children are learning. There's creativity. There's connecting with friends and family. There's inclusion and global exposure. But it also comes with challenges. There's also cyberbullying, misinformation, and the pressures of social media. As parents, we cannot afford to ignore this. It's not something that we can look away and say, oh, well, this is not something I want to engage with, because whether we like it or not, it's something that our children are engaging with. So it's something that we have to be interested in. And our role is to help our children enjoy the benefits safely. This means we have to guide them on how to use the internet. We have to help them to set boundaries, and we have to draw on our values and strengths to help them and support them to navigate this digital world. Let's go on to the next row, the next slide, please. I put two photos on this slide because I wanted to demonstrate something to us. In the photo on the left, you can see a mother holding the hand of a child and working. And think about it, as our children learn to work and go through life, we know that we should hold their hands when we're working with them until, they know they are strong or old enough to navigate, their way through life. When we go to public places, we keep an eye on them. We instruct them to take permission from us before they go anywhere, and we'll certainly not permit them to go to places that we consider unsafe. We do all of this to prevent them from getting into danger. Well, what I want to say is that, like the physical world, the online world needs to be carefully navigated, and we need to guide our children on how to do this. Many of us think about it. For all parents here, I'm sure you will agree that when your children started walking, when they were going out, even some of us, maybe even up till now, when we go with them to the market, depending on the age, you want to guide them. Where are you? You hold their hands. But when it comes to the online navigating the digital world, many of us don't think about, oh, I need to educate my children. But that's exactly how I want us to approach this. So the same way that, you think about the physical world, how to support your children, similarly, you need to support your children in navigating the online space. Let's go on to the next slide, please. And you might be thinking, oh, but my child is still very young, or my child does not have any phone or have any access, doesn't have any device. Still, you don't have to wait before they get to that stage to begin to speak to them about this or to teach them how to navigate it. Sometimes parents just think, oh, it's too early to talk about this. And then before you know it, your child learns either from peers or from other, or even from the community. And then they might be introduced to the online world in a way that is not supportive of their growth or is harmful to them. So I just want to emphasize, just like we take time to instruct our children and guide them in navigating the physical world, it's so important to be involved and to educate them about the online space. First thing I want to do is talk about some of the benefits of digital access, because in the past few minutes, I've talked so much about how risky it is. No, stay on that slide just a little bit, please. And some people might think, oh, but if it's so risky, why then do I need to allow my children to have digital access? Well, like I already pointed out, whether you give them that access or not, one way or the other, sooner or later, your children will be online and they will start navigating that space. So it's just as well that you start introducing them to that. And I just want to briefly share some of the benefits of digital access. Some of them, and should I have any? No, I'm not going to introduce any gaming. Some of the benefits is there are apps that boost learning and creativity. Children learn a lot from using. There are very many. In addition to keeping them captivated and occupied, there are apps that actually help children to learn, whether it's improving their vocabulary or learning mathematics. A lot of children learn online. There are also digital tools that can be very advantageous for children who have disabilities or children who experience exclusion and marginalization. So the online and having digital access really has some very, very great benefits. Digital communication also provides a way for children to express themselves, helps to reduce feelings of isolation, and teaches cognitive skills. It also makes texts accessible to children who cannot read print. And of course, gadgets can help to provide, and could provide means for parents to engage their children when they are very busy. It might be so easy to just leave your child to play on the app. Though in a short while, I'll also talk about monitoring and managing all of that, because it's also not safe to allow them unlimited access to the digital world. Let's move on to the next slide, please. The next slide, please. And now I want to talk about some of the risks in the digital space. So as great as it is, digital access, even though it comes with so many benefits, there are also risks. And we must be aware of the different risks involved and how to mitigate them so that we can guide our children to stay safe online while getting the benefits of navigating the online space. First of all, we have what is known as content risk, and that is the risk of our children being exposed to content that might be harmful to them. We also have contact risk, which has to do with coming in contact with dangerous people or people who could persuade them to share personal information or meet up with them, which could lead to harm. I'm sure many of us are familiar with stories of how people have been lured to harm, and we have many of such stories in Nigeria, and not only in Nigeria, all over the world, really. You hear about teenagers and adolescents meeting with people online, and from there being lured into a relationship, then going to meet the person in a hotel or somewhere else, and then either sadly getting murdered or kidnapped or something. All of this is part of the risk of being in the digital space. Another type of risk we have is conduct risk. And this includes our children acting in ways that might hurt others or even being a victim of this kind of behavior. For example, a child could accidentally make in-app purchases, maybe get either on the parent's phone or device or even on their own, sign into something and make purchases without being aware of it. There's also cyberbullying, which I'm really going to talk about much later in this presentation. And of course, our children could be perpetrators. They could also be victims of cyberbullying. And that's why it's so important for us to discuss this and talk about how we can help our children to, if there are victims, what they can do, and how we can also educate them so that they are not perpetrators of cyberbullying. Then a fourth category of risk is what is known as contract risk. And this refers to the risk of our children either signing up contracts or agreements or terms and conditions that they really don't have any understanding of. It could be something as simple as a child clicking a button that allows a business to collect their personal or family data, or they might use a device with weak internet security that opens them up to identity theft or fraud. So all of these are risks that exist in the digital space, and they are very real. But understanding the digital world and helping our children to navigate this can prevent them from being victims. And it's important for us to be very active and proactive in protecting our children so that they can enjoy the opportunities and at the same time limit the risks that come with navigating the digital space. So let's move on to the next slide, please. So I know it can be very tempting, especially for busy parents, to allow our children to play for hours on gadgets, especially when we're busy, but we must remember that this can harm their development. So playing with devices should just be one of many activities that they engage with. Tech cannot replace play, creativity, or relationships. It's important that there is balance. So the first step is guiding our children how to stay online, and then monitoring their use and guiding them that they conduct and they use the online space in a responsible manner. How can we guide our children online? I'm going to quickly share a few tips on how we can do this. The first thing is to educate them. But like I've tried to hint, we cannot educate them if we are not familiar with this. So I want to throw a challenge to many parents about, as you leave this space, please think about how much you know about this and how much you have taken the time to educate your children. So educate them. It should not be just like you've been talking to them, leading them about, you talk to them. I'm sure all parents at one time or the other, you've spoken to your children about staying safe physically, don't go here, guiding them when you're, let me think of a typical one. If you're crossing the road, look to your left, look to your right, look to your left again before you cross the road. In the same way, please be proactive in guiding. Let's be proactive in guiding our children online. Educate them. In addition to educating them, we have to model healthy gadget use ourselves. If, for example, you are always on your device, always on your laptop, it's going to be challenging or difficult for your child to understand or to adhere to an instruction that they should only spend maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour on the device. When you say to them, oh, this is not a healthy way to live, it will be very difficult for them to absorb that because they have seen you model the opposite behavior. So we have to ourselves model healthy gadget use, educate them, and then we need to prioritize family time and open communication. In addition to that, build a healthy relationship with your children, build trust, teach responsible online conduct. And I'll talk more about that in a short while, and then stay vigilant. Let's move on to the next slide, please. Great, there's another slider there. And if you have your phone, please scan the QR code. Let's go to the next slider. I'm going to scan it myself. What does this say? Even if you didn't play the first one, please feel free. And I want to encourage everyone. Do you think technology has been more of a help or a challenge for your children? So I want you to put a response, yes or no. Do you think technology has been more of a help or a challenge? I'd like to know what other parents think. Oh, wow. I've seen yes so far. So far, yes is 100%. Do you think I only have one vote so far? I'll wait. I'll give it another minute to see if there are other responses. Has technology been more of a help or a challenge for your children? Okay, doesn't look like. Let me see. Give it another 30 seconds. Any other response? Okay, so this parent says yes. It's lovely to hear that because sometimes it can be more of a challenge. Lovely to hear that. Okay, I'm going to continue. Maybe with the next one, we might have more responses. Okay, so I'm going to talk about managing screen time. Yes, go on, please. And we're starting with still another slider. And this one says, on average, how many hours do your children spend on screens each day? Parents, if you're listening, please, I would really appreciate if you would, give responses here. I'm really interested in hearing what your thoughts are. We're going to talk about managing screen time, and it would be nice to know what, on an average. And this is not to shame any parent or shame any child or shame any family. On an average, how many hours do your children, and of course, there's no way to even know who gave what response in the first place. On an average, I have two responses so far, between 4 to 7 hours, between 2 to 3 hours. Any other response? And I'm quickly going to talk about why managing screen time matters and what the recommendation is for how many hours children should spend. Of course, it's also dependent on the age of the child. Do we have any other response? I think one option we should have put is I don't know, because some parents may not know how many hours their children actually spend. Okay, let's move on to the next one, please. And thank you to those who are, responding, and even to those who haven't yet gotten the hang of it or did not respond for whatever reason. Let's move on to the next slide, please. The next slide, please. Tayan, can you hear me? Could you please move to the next slide? If you can hear me, can you move
Yeah,
to
I've
the
moved it. Check.
No, it's still
Um,
showing on my screen. It's still showing managing screen. Oh, sorry.
it has
I
moved.
don't know why. You, I don't know what's happening with my screen. It
So I
was
moved it
showing.
here. Okay,
Oh,
so which one do you
okay.
want?
It should be okay. The one with the little girl there. That's fine. Why managing screen time matters. I don't know why it wasn't showing here. Okay, so I want to first talk about why managing screen time matters. First, too much gadget use can harm development. I know as a parent, as a busy parent, we might see it as, oh, this is a godsend. When you're super busy, whatever maybe you have a young child that has been disturbing you, you just give the child the device and the child gets captivated, gets and stops seeking your attention. But the truth about it is that too much gadget use can actually harm the development of the child. Devices should be just one of many play activities. We should encourage outdoor play, social interaction, hands-on exploration. And while it is good, I talked about the benefits and the risks of the online or even using devices. The key word here is balance. There needs to be a healthy balance. And that leads me to the next question. Someone may ask, what's the ideal amount of time for a child to spend on a device? My advice is to follow the international guidelines from the World Health Organization regarding screen time. Yes. And that is, I should have put more details on that slide. Children 0 to 23 months, please stay on that slide. Children 0 to 23 months old, no screen time advised. Children 2 to 5 years old, 1 hour or less. Children 6 to 17 years old, limited use based on agreed guidelines. These guidelines are recommendations, but may be different for individual families since every family and child is unique. Again, I should have put more guidelines, but I'm just going to repeat that again, what the guidelines show. Children 0 to 23 months old, no screen time advised. So please, if your child is below 2, no screen time. It's not recommended that they should be playing with gadgets. It can be tempting, I realize that, but please refrain from it. Let them play with toys, soft toys, building blocks, run outside with you, or play with them, whatever it is, but no screen time. 2 to 5 years old, 1 hour or less. 6 to 17 years old, limited use based on agreed guidelines. Let's go to the next slide, please. And I'm now going to talk about healthy screen habits at home. So, in addition to limiting screen time based on the recommendation, there are some healthy screen habits that we should encourage right from when our children are young. And the first is we should keep screens out of a child's bedroom as they are stimulating and can interfere with sleep. We should also monitor what our children are viewing and the apps that they interact with to ensure that the content is appropriate. This is very, very important. So please don't just say, oh, okay, they're allowed to be on the screen for 30 minutes or 1 hour. So here you can have this, you can play with this for so long, for this amount of time. That's not just what it is about. In addition to the time, we have to look at what they are watching. We need to talk to our children about the programs and the apps that they are using so that we can so that they understand why certain programs and apps may not be good for them. And it's best to start this when our children are still young, up with these rules already in place. However, if you're listening and you didn't do this, it's not too late to introduce them. And the key thing here is we must stay vigilant so that we can quickly respond if we observe any negative impact of gadgets. So manage the screen time, also manage what they are watching and how they use it. And again, it's not everywhere in the house that they should be using their gadgets. The next slide, please. For many school-age children, using gadgets and going online is a normal part of life. Typically, they'll look at videos, play games, connect with friends and family, and also use the internet for schoolwork and homework. And as they are becoming more and more independent online, it's important for parents to take some practical internet safety precautions to protect them from risky or inappropriate content and activities. So in addition to all of this, you also have to, parents, we need to, all of us parents, we need to take some precautions, put some rules in place to ensure that our children are using the online world responsibly. And the first that I want to share is create a family plan for social media and internet use. This is so important. So don't just say, oh, you can use this for 1 hour or you can use this at this time. Parents, please create a social media and internet use. In doing this, sit down with a child, let them be a part of it. So because they are bound, or they will feel it will help them to be socially bound if, and to take ownership if they were part of the decisions. And the plan could include using the devices for a specific amount of time each day for the child, depending on the age, and the recommended use or screen time, not using screen in certain areas in the house, internet safety rules, like keeping personal information private, only using specific programs and apps that are okay for children to watch and use. So sit down with them and develop a family plan for social media and internet use, but only when they are of a certain age. The fact that you're having a social media plan does not mean that it's okay to introduce children of all ages to this. A second tip that I want to share is use child-friendly search engines or content providers. Like there's YouTube Kids. We should only have only child-friendly search engines or on our children's devices. And we should also check that the websites, the TV programs that they are watching are appropriate for them before we allow our children to watch or view. So it's not just enough to know that, oh, this is such a popular TV show, everybody likes it, maybe hear other people talking about it. Is this appropriate? What is the content about? As much as possible, look into the content of everything, not even as much as possible. Look into the content. Always look at the content before you allow your child or your children to watch it. And you can do this by looking at reviews on common sense media, playing the games, or viewing the content. But don't just give the child the device and say, hey, you can play with this, shouldn't be in your room, should be just an hour or 30 minutes. No, look at the content also before you allow your child to watch it. Another thing I would say is to monitor online use. I have already talked about this, about the recommended screen time for children. We can monitor online use by using the internet with our children or staying close by to look at and to stay aware of what they're doing online. This way we can quickly act if what they're watching is inappropriate content or they are affected by what they see. We should also track how much time they're spending online. I've mentioned that over and over again. It's also advisable to use the Family Link app, which is available on Google. The next slide, please. The next slide, please. No, I'm not seeing the next slide. Is that from my end, Tony? The next slide, please. Building trust. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the one. So to help our children is also part of our educating our children is to support them and help them to build trust and digital responsibility. And we can do that by having open, calm conversations about online space or online life with them. So discuss this with them, teach them to share what happens online. Remember again this is when children have a certain age. The fact that you're going to have a social media plan or you're going to have this education doesn't mean that you introduce children, whatever their age, to the social or to the online space. They should be of a certain age, first of all. But in addition to that, just being maybe 18 or whatever doesn't mean you just allow them to get into that space. Have open, calm conversations about the online life, teach them to share what happens online, and then we ourselves must model responsible internet use as parents. When there's trust and guidance, we will be able to have safe, confident digital explorers. Okay, the next slide, please. So that's that about managing screen time. I'm now going to talk about navigating social media. The next slide, please. The next slide. And I think I have my last slide. I want to encourage, yes, let's pause there. I think that's the last one I have. And if you haven't done any, this is still a good time, please. I'd like you to get into this. If you have your phone, this is the last one we have. And the question is, at what age do you think children should start using social media? We have a few options: under 10, 10 to 12, 13 to 15, 16 plus. And the last option is, it depends on the child. I'm going to give a few minutes while I'm waiting for votes. At what age do you think children should start using social media? Again, this is not to shame any parents or make you feel bad, whether your children have been using social media all their lives, or this is I just want this to be very interactive. So at what age do you think, I want you to engage with this. So at what age do you think children should start using social media? I have one vote. I'm going to give it another minute or two. I would like to have a few more votes. At what age do you think children should start using social media? I would like to have, well, we have two votes still. I think both are 13 to 15. A third one says 16 plus. Oh, no, the second, there are still two. One says 13 to 15, another says 16 plus. Any other? At what age do you think? At what age do you think children should start using social media? Okay, we have three votes, and most of it says two votes are for 16 plus. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Thank you. And thank you to those who voted. And thank you to those who, for one reason or the other, couldn't get to the slider, but that's nice. There are many of the, I want to say some of the, so I looked this up recently to see the rules have changed. I know that some social media require children to be 13, some say 16 plus, and so on. So I'm not going to give any particular recommendation here. What I would say is that it's so important that we support our children and guide them in doing what is right for them. I would feel more comfortable with 16 plus. There are some that say 16 plus, but I've also seen a few. Oh, I've seen people putting the 16. Yes, 16. Yeah, I'm seeing responses. Thank you for your responses. Yes, I feel more comfortable with 16. With 16 to 15. Yes. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your responses. Yeah, 16. I've seen Miriam. Yes, and someone else. I say 16. Yeah, learning with Auntie KB. Thank you for sharing your responses. I feel more comfortable with 16 too. But beyond even the age, like I say, your son says 13. I'm sure if I had asked my children when they were younger, they would have said 13 too. Children, of course, would always want an age that is as young as possible, because of course they are very eager to get into that space. But it is our responsibility to guide them. It is our responsibility. And in some ways, many of us are doing this, like I don't know of any parent that would give a 9-year-old a car key and say, go and learn how to drive and start driving. Because even if they are tall and they're huge and they can get on the driver's seat, we know they don't have the maturity to know how to handle the steering, to know what to do if maybe a drunk driver cuts in the way or something happens. So we wait for them to grow older. But when it comes to online, and I think I'm saying this to just emphasize that we need to take full responsibility here and be very, very proactive in supporting our children. And I'm going to quickly share a few tips on what we can do. The first thing is we have to be informed and stay vigilant. I decided when Facebook came, when Facebook was introduced, my husband and I decided one of us needed to be online to understand this new space because the children were getting this. So of course, I thought, okay, let me sign up for this. And when Instagram, I'm not very active on Instagram and even on Facebook, but because of my children, I needed to be in this in these spaces. What is this about? What's this new one? Let me get in there. What are they doing? To follow them, even though they don't like it, to see what they are doing. And I can tell you, parent to parent, there are times that I have seen stuff and I've gone back to them to say, what's this thing that you're liking? Why this song that you're playing to go with this? Have you heard the lyrics? Have you listened to the lyrics of this song that you attached to this photo? Because if you're not there, you are not going to be able to guide them. So the first thing I want to say is it's so important that we stay informed and stay vigilant. For children, we can and we should go online with them. But it's not realistic to do this with older children. But there are other ways that we can help our older children. And that's why I'm going to quickly share some tips. First, talk with your children about online space, how to identify credible websites. I can say I'm not doing too well with time. So I'm going to quickly rush through the next couple of slides because I'm supposed to round this up in like 5 minutes so we can have time for Q&A. We should educate them on what is appropriate and show them how to avoid unsuitable content. And it's also important to teach them that not all the information, not everything they see online is true or helpful, and that some news are just made up, especially now with AI. They even create content. You look at the video and it's not real at all. We should encourage our children to question the things they read on the internet, as this will help them to develop the ability to tell whether a website has good quality information and whether the information or videos that come across are factual. Even the things that are shared on WhatsApp. I know how many times people send things to me, and when I check, I see that it's not real. Teach them to only communicate online with people they know and to avoid contact with people that they do not know in person. This is very, very important. Like we know, many children have been lured to harm by strangers they meet online. So please encourage your children to tell you if they come in contact with people. If people they don't know contact them online, advise them to make friends and communicate with only people they know in the real life. And they should also ignore calls and texts and friend requests from strangers. Even if the person is persistent, they should tell you. If they see something online that makes them uncomfortable, unsafe, or worried, they should leave the website, turn off the computer or device, and tell a trusted adult immediately. And please, when you have younger children, make sure that older siblings follow internet safety rules. Like they should only watch age-appropriate programs when they are online with their younger siblings. So it can't be, maybe this child is 18 and they're watching stuff that is not right for a 5-year-old or something. So older children must also obey the rules for the younger ones. Another thing, the next slide, please. Okay, yeah, we're on the right slide now. They should encourage your children to keep their personal information private. A lot of people use fake accounts and hide their real identities. Children may not know this. It's up to us to educate them. They shouldn't disclose private information like address, phone number, birthdays, things like that. And they should check with you before, even if they are going to, maybe an 18-year-old, they want to sign up for a competition or membership, they should check all of that with you. Check privacy settings, location services, and so on also. Yes, I'm quickly going to teach them to avoid online purchases, stop any accidental in-app purchases, and you can do this by switching off in-app purchases and one-click payments and so on. I think let's move on to the next slide. We are not doing too well for time. Posting and communicating safely. This is so, so important. It's so important to educate our children to be mindful of what they post online. They should think carefully before posting pictures or videos of themselves. This can be downloaded by others. Even if you come back and you delete it, if someone has already downloaded it, it's out there. So please teach them. Photos and text could reveal personal information. For instance, if you're wearing your school uniform, it's easy for people to know the school that the child attends. So they should be mindful of all of this. The next slide, please. I just want to quickly say, please, we should teach our children to be responsible digital citizens. Just like you teach them on how to behave in real life, they should think before they post, comment, or like. One of the things I always say to my children, if someone writes 10 things or 20 things, if I agree with number 1 to 19, I don't agree with number 20, I will not like it. It doesn't matter if it's my best friend or whoever that made that post, because once you like it, it is taken that you agree with everything 1 to 20, and you will not be able to defend yourself. It's not everything you have to comment on. Respect the privacy of others, respect your own also. Be kind. Avoid online arguments. It's not everything you have to comment on. Verify information before sharing. Use good digital etiquette and guide them on how they respond, even to other people commenting on their own pages. That's for other children. The next slide, please. And for us to do all of this, of course, we ourselves, we have to be good. Can you bring it up a little bit more? Thank you. A good digital role model. We have to be a good role model. Our children learn so much from us, and this includes even their digital behaviors. We should model safe and healthy internet use by using the media in the way that we want our children to. For instance, if you've made a rule, no internet use or no media while we are eating. It should not be that while you're on the phone or you're eating, you're also checking WhatsApp messages. We should only share. Another thing we must do, only share positive, encouraging posts and comments online. Respond in a kind manner. If you cannot respond positively, leave it. The way we conduct ourselves models to our children how they should conduct themselves online. We should lead by example. They are watching us. The next slide, please. And so a key factor here is building a positive relationship with our children. Okay, I was going to share 2 stories on addressing cyberbullying, but I'm not doing well for time. The first story is about Ned Bernstein, a teenager that committed suicide as a result of cyberbullying. And I just wanted to share it to show that these things are so, so real. So please, we should be very, very careful in communicating with our children about cyberbullying. They should respond, tell us if they're being bullied, and they should at the same time not be perpetrators. Please scroll to the next one. I'm going to skip that story and just quickly share a few tips on supporting our children. The first thing, we can stay there. I'm just going to quickly rush through this section. Start the conversation early, talk about cyberbullying, encourage children to speak up if it happens. If they're being bullied either online or in person, they have to tell you. Encourage them to talk to a trusted adult at home or in school. No issue is too small to share. And how do they respond to bullying messages? If they receive a bullying message, they should not reply or retaliate, because that will make things worse. Rather, they should report it to an adult. Advise your children to block those sending nasty messages. And if it persists, consider changing their number, updating their profiles to protect personal information. Then they should keep the messages they have been sent so they can show them either to a trusted adult and they should also make note of the date, the time the bullying calls and messages came in, as well as details of the user's ID, URL, and telephone numbers, all of that, because this information could be used to track the perpetrators and could also serve as evidence. So they shouldn't delete them, please. And then they should serve it. Evidence is useful when reporting. And then the last thing I would really want to say is that we should be careful, encourage our children. We should be careful about how we conduct ourselves, because how we do it can affect even our own chances. A young lady got an offer from a place she wanted to work. I want to round up there. And she wrote a nasty message online, or she used the F word, and someone tried to correct her and she told the person off. Incidentally, he happened to be in charge of that place where she just got the offer, and the offer was withdrawn from her. whatever we do online, whether it's comments, likes, all of those things, we are leaving digital footprints, which could come back to haunt us in real life. So it's so important to guide our children that they conduct themselves in a responsible manner. I'm going to stop here. Thank you so much. And I don't know if we still have time for questions.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. You really did justice to the topic. I mean, and I love the examples you gave. It was so sad when I read the news about the boy that, unalived himself. Thank you so much, Ma. You made it so practical. I mean, I love the way you broke it down with the age and the screen time. Then I love the Slido. I
Okay.
personally said it. I love it, made everything so engaging. It made me think like, okay, what's the best answer for this? Thank you so much, Ma. You really made it so engaging. So we have a question from
Thank
Learning
you.
with Auntie KB, and she says, "My son, who is 12, is asking if he can share his personal details with his classmates online. He's listening to you now. He said, is it okay to share his personal details with his classmates
I would
online?"
say no. He's 12, so I suspect his classmates are going to be 12 or 11 or 13. I would say no. Because sometimes the whole thing about this is you educate your child, but the other child may not know. Whatever you share, this and the person shares online, that the classmate could share with a total stranger. There are lots of people that get information, not directly from the person involved, but from someone else. So I would not recommend it. He
All right.
meets, and again, he's meeting with his classmates physically, so there's no need for them to share personal details online.
Yeah, sometimes most of these kids they play games like Roblox and the likes, and so they meet online after school, and so maybe that's why he wants to share some of his details, and he just feels I know these people already, I meet with them in school already. But I love the advice you gave. I mean, that should be held on to. He shouldn't share his details just yet. Okay, do we have any other questions? Any other question? We have just 4 minutes before we go. Any other question? Please type it out in the comment section.
I don't think we have any, so I just want to say thank you so much to you all.
Thank you so much. And that's because you did justice to the topic. We really enjoyed the
Thank
session.
you.
Thank you so, so much. Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so, so much. We really appreciate your session. Very in depth and really, really very engaging. Like you said, I tried the Slido too, and it really it worked. And I guess for those that didn't try the Slido, they're the ones that are putting their answers in the comment section. Thank you so much. So we'll be moving to the next speaker who will be starting in the next 7 minutes. I'm going to post the link for the next speaker here so that we can all join. We're going to close this link. We're going to close this. We're going to end this session so that we join the next. We created another link. So we joined the next link for the next speakers. So what we did was that we wanted each speaker to have their own link, so in case they want to reshare and all that. Thank you so much, everyone. Doctor, thank you. So I'm removing you from the. I'm
Thank
removing you
you.
now. Thank you so much. Yeah, bye. So let me post the link for the second one. Then we can all join the second one immediately. Just a minute. Thank you, Dr. Isang. Thank you so much from Faith. Let me post it. Just a minute. Just a minute. Wow. But I'm going to also send it into the email. I think I sent some link to the email, so you can just check your email. But also send it here, so it'll be easier for everybody to click on it and move to the next link. The next speaker. Next speaker starts by 5. But in case we have any question, Tayo, you can continue speaking
Yes.
when I look for the link.
All right, awesome. So, like I said, you can drop your questions in the comment section and I'm just going to read them out. But honestly, she did justice to that topic. I mean, she broke it down. And I think it's very good when topics are being compartmentalized. She took it one at a time. Cyberbullying, what age restriction, and most importantly, the Slido. It was so good. It was so good. It made us think. Okay, Idogo Faith says the key word here is balance. Balance, balance, balance. Keep screen out of their bedrooms. Sometimes we always want to show this affluence. Like, every room in my house, we have a TV. People say that. Like, oh, we have like 8 TVs in my house. Every room, we have a TV there. Well, it's good. But at the same time, we need to be mindful of the children, right? Because if every room they go to they can watch anything, then it's not so good. While we were growing up, most of our homes we have just one TV in the sitting room, so you can't even watch anything bad. They will see you, and daddy would have one computer that everybody can access, right? So there's this monitoring. You're not just watching anything you want to watch in the confines of your bedroom. But now we think it's a show of affluence to have like 8 TVs, 6 TVs in your house, and then your child can just lock themselves off in their room and watch anything they want to watch. And of course, like when we're talking about at what age should children be allowed to use a phone, she said, wait till they are 16. They have the rest of their lives to use this phone. Why are we in such a hurry? Wait until they are 16. By then, the part of their brain that can regulate emotions and everything will be developed to some extent, right? Rather than you giving a 9-year-old, an 8-year-old, I go to church every Sunday and I see a 5-year-old, I see a 4-year-old with a phone in church. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. And then you see parents saying, "Oh, I gave a phone to my 8-year-old as a birthday gift." We need to correct these anomalies. We need to correct these anomalies. And I'm so happy she touched on that. And for some of you maybe you're listening and you're like, oh, I made the mistake already. I already gave a phone to my child when she was 8 or when she was 7. Well, you can still correct it. You can still correct it by putting boundaries in place, by telling them you can use your phone between this time and this time. When you're going to sleep at night, you have to give your phone to mommy. You can't use your phone more than a particular amount of time per day. So we might have to have this discussion. Remember, we hold it to God. Like I said in the beginning, we are custodians, we are stewards, and we hold it to God. He's going to ask us, how did we raise these children? So to become a better parent, these are the things we need to do. I've not seen any question. I've not seen any question just yet. And we're logging out of this app in just 1 minute. So the countdown starts now. So, okay. Yeah. So they've posted the link for the next session. Please do well to join using that link that just been posted. And we'll see you in the next session. All right. Bye.